All right. Once again, I am Ari Honeyford with AZ, Awkwardly Zen, and we are so excited to introduce you all to Shakti Wilson today. Shakti has taught with us a few different times across the years with Awkwardly Zen, so we're super excited to have her here today to talk to us a little bit about dowsing. So, Shakti, I'm going to pass it your way.
Thank you. It's just thank you for the opportunity to be here. So much fun to be with everyone again. So I wanted to teach everyone about pendulum dowsing. So what I would like to know if you could show me just a thumbs up, who has never done any dowsing? Okay, I need to figure out how to
Go
maybe
up to the top right corner of your screen there,
yes.
and there should be a view part, and you can push gallery. And that's for any of you who wants to be able to see the whole.
Okay. All right, that's
Just for
much
the
more.
recording, I want to see you, Shakti. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so anyone willing to show me dowsing? What does dowsing mean? It's using a pendulum for guidance for enhancing intuition. So if anyone can share with me, is this new? Okay, all right. Because I'm going to be teaching the basics of it. And I want to go from there. We're going to go from the basics all the way to a deep dive in an hour and a half. So we're going to learn a lot today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So the purpose of using the pendulum is a way to increase intuition. I know many of you are involved with intuition, but this is a way to tap into that super conscious part of ourselves, that higher self, that spirit presence, whatever you call that. This is a method to tap into that and to align yourself with that presence so that you can live your life from that presence. The pendulum is a tool. It's called the ideomotor response. It's just an energy that moves through you and allows the intuition to move through. We're people, right? We like to see something. So it shows us what's going on. It's like we're going to be building a communication with us and spirit. This is how spirit talks through me. I have a conversation. And I don't need the pendulum, but it's an amazing tool to enhance it, to identify, to discover whatever is I needed to work with somebody. So that's why I love using it. So today, just briefly, I'm going to teach you the basics of how to use a pendulum that you can use in any part of your life. Then we're going to go into what there's a process, there's a system, a deep dive system that I've been teaching. It's called spiritual response technique or spiritual response therapy. You may have heard of it. I've been teaching it for 31 years. And so I'm going to teach you about that, what that system is. And then I'm going to give some opportunities for those who want to ask a question. And you could see how quickly that system can identify any block in the subconscious. But I'll talk more about that later. So for right now, just have a pendulum in your hand, okay? It can be a necklace. It can be anything that's pointed. It can be metal. It can be a crystal. It can be a bolt from the garage on a string. It can be anything. So how you hold it, here is mine. So it is metal. It doesn't matter to me what you have, but I hold it with the chain about 4 inches high. See, because it is long. But to get faster energies, to make the pendulum move faster, it's about 4 to 5 inches. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to set up this communication with your higher self, whatever you want to call that energy. So the basics of it is setting up a yes or no. If you've already used a pendulum, just flow with what you have. This is for those who would like to create that communication system. So on the first page, if you could put the first page up for me, please. Okay, so the first page you will see, it has a yes vertical, it has a no horizontal, you see? And there's also an arrow that goes left. Okay. So what we want to do first is we want to put your pendulum to hang in the middle, just on top of that little circle. All right, that's great. Thank you. Okay, just a little bit above, just maybe a quarter inch above that circle. And you're going to ask you, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, ask spirit to move, yes, move vertical. So we are actually telling the energy what to do at this point. We're just setting up the communication. After this, we let spirit roll, right? But this part, we need to figure out how to communicate. Just like you're communicating with a person, you have to kind of set up how we communicate. Okay. So a yes, I want you to put your pendulum a little bit above that circle and just say, move vertical. Okay. So it should move vertical to that yes position.
Shakti, somebody's asking, do you rest your elbow on the table for stability?
If you want to. If your pendulum is not moving, okay, if you're beginning with this, that's great. Okay. Then just give it a swing, like just have intentionally give it a swing. In other words, towards the left, counterclockwise. Is you're just getting your energy moving. You're not used to it. It's a new thing. It's just getting the energy moving. Sometimes that helps those. So I need to know if anyone has an issue with that. Anyone have a problem with that? If you can put that in the chat. Ari, are you reading the chat, everything in the chat for me, or shall I do that? Or
yeah, between Jacqueline and I, we'll cover the chat and the room. So I think we're good right now.
I'm sorry, I could not hear what you said.
I said Jacqueline and both of us will be watching the chat.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll let you know.
Great. Okay. Is there anyone that's having a problem moving the pendulum? Okay. Fantastic. So for a no, we want it to move horizontal. So just say, Spirit, please move the pendulum horizontal. That's your no signal. Is there anyone having a problem moving it horizontal? Great. Awesome. So then you can see that there is a line, an arrow that moves counterclockwise. That is what I call, I'm teaching you something a little advanced here, clearing signal. So I want you to ask the pendulum to move counterclockwise. And I want you to do it and see it. The chats are great. Okay. Okay, so my pendulum is moving counterclockwise. There we go. Now the other signal is when it is done clearing, done. We just did something, ask a question, it's done. It's going to stop, or you can make it go back to vertical, yes or no. So it's like this. If I'm asking Spirit to clear something, Spirit, please clear the energy. It's moving counterclockwise. When it's done, because I want to know, are you done? For me, it goes back to yes. For you, if you like, you can have it just stop. Either way is fine. It's your communication with your higher self. Anybody have any questions so far? Awesome. Okay, so let's go through the questions on this, because it says, how this chart works, the pendulum will swing in the direction of the answer on the chart. Okay. How to use this chart, prepare for dowsing. While swinging the pendulum counterclockwise, say in your mind, I let go of any mind activity that's blocking access to intuitive information. Allow it to swing until it stops on its own. Duration varies. Okay, so I want you to do that and have it go counterclockwise, just what we practice. But I want you to say this in your mind, because what we're doing, our lives are busy, our mind is full of chatter. Okay, this says, I let go of any mind activity that's blocking my intuition. Okay, a lot going on your day, busy day, limited thoughts coming in. Okay, so let's all do that together. I let go of my mind activity that's blocking access to intuitive information. So you allow it to swing until it stops your stop signal, which is a yes or a stop. If you do anything from what you learned today, do that once a day. It is amazing. If you just take anything from today, do that.
So we have a question. Do you say it once or over and over again until the stop signal happens?
Once. Because all of the intuitive practices that we work, all the healing modalities that we work on, we really want to let go of what the mindset patterns are, what the ego is trying to be in charge of. Okay. This just says, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to be that neutral channel. Okay. It really helps us be in the present moment and honor that presence within us. That one statement is incredible. And I don't care what's going on in your day. If you do this, it would really help. Okay, so now let's ask a question. Let's practice. While holding the pendulum over the center of the chart, ask a yes or no question in your mind. Example, would my friend like this gift? Put your pendulum in the middle, have it go yes or no. Remember, this is only a yes or no question. I don't want you to ask, am I going to go on a date with that person? Am I going to buy that house? Should I buy that house? Should I buy that car? Not a question like that, because there's a lot more to clear about those questions. This is just a simple question. For practice now, is my name so-and-so? Is my name another name that's not yours? Just, you want to practice it. It's just a yes or no question. This is only for simple questions. I don't teach pendulum to predict the future. Never. It's only about clearing our mindset patterns so that we receive divine guidance in making decisions. So anybody have a question with that? What we just did. Remember, this is just simple question, yes or no. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next chart. Okay, let's get a little more complicated. How this chart works. The pendulum will swing in the direction of the answer on the chart. How to use this chart. Prepare for dowsing. Okay. While swinging the pendulum counterclockwise, say in your mind, I let go of my mind activity that's blocking access to intuitive information. Allow it to swing till it stops. What we just did. You always do that before you ask a question with dowsing, pendulum dowsing. You can use another question for yourself, another statement for yourself. Spirit and I are one. It doesn't matter exactly what it is. It's you just acknowledging. You do a prayer or an acknowledgement that you are aligned with your higher self, whatever you call that. Okay. Identify. Okay. This is a vitamin chart, something to practice with, to play with. So you want to identify or not whether you need a vitamin regime change. So we go back to chart A, the other one. Hold on, just don't do it yet. And hold the pendulum over the circle. Then ask the following question: do I need to change my vitamin regime? Okay, Ari, can you move to the other chart? Do I need to? Yes or no? Remember, we just use this for simple questions. Yes or no? Okay, Ari, back to the second. You're working hard on this one. Okay. Okay. If yes, we're going to use the chart below. If no, then you're all good. Okay, that's very helpful information because a lot of us take vitamins and we go, no, I'm good, right? I got it dialed, I'm good. Okay, this one is saying if you get a yes, remember, we're asking if we need to change something. That's important to do because you don't want to take something and you think you need more of it when you need less of it. Okay. So if your answer was yes, there's something I need to change, you put your pendulum in that middle right there and you just ask, where is it? The pendulum is going to swing to that vitamin. If it swings to other, then you can add it. You can add it. You can add in one of the vitamins that you take. You know, many of us, these are just basic. Now,
Okay.
once you get that there was a vitamin that you need to change, you go to number 4. Identify the details that you need to change. It says go to chart A, the chart before, and ask the question. Hold the pendulum in the middle. Do I need more of it? Yes or no? Do I need less of it? Yes or no? So I'll give you a moment just to do that.
And just a reminder while we're doing this moment that Awkwardly Zen is not doctors or medical professionals in any way, shape, or form. So please do your own research before taking any vitamin that might be recommended to you.
Perfect. And you don't do this for other people unless you are certified in that. This is just for your knowledge, for your own research. You add it to your own knowledge and researching that you're doing for your own health. It's a guideline. Okay. When you're done with that, you can ask, go back to the other chart. Chart 1, the first chart, chart A, and you can ask, is there another vitamin that I need to change?
And it looks like we have a question. Lex, do you want to ask your question?
Yes. So it told me I did. But then when I asked, do I need more? Do I need less? It gave me a definitive no for needing less. But on the do I need more, it just kind of wavered in the middle, wasn't quite a strong yes. So what does that mean?
It's probably you don't need more. That's what you got first. Do you need more of it? You got to know.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to the any other question on that? Okay, so this next chart, this next chart I left open because I'd like you to create a chart that you need for your life. So again, pendulum will swing in the direction of the answer on the chart. Prepare for dowsing while swinging the pendulum counterclockwise. Say in your mind and let go of any mind activity that's blocking access to intuitive information. Allow it to swing until it stops on its own. Go ahead and do that. So now I'd like you to think of something that you are trying to make a decision about. 1 to 12 potential options for your decision inside any of the petals in the diagram. You may want to add the word other in case there's other options. It could be options like for a doctor, a dentist, chiropractor, herbal remedy, etc. So if you are involved with any herbal remedies, anything that there's a lot of choices for, Pendulum Dowsing can really help with this decision on this. When my children were young, homeopathics were a part of my life, and I did not know. I didn't have time to really study the homeopathics. So I doused which homeopathic is the best one.
So we have a question.
Yes.
Do you have to fill them all out, or can you do fewer options if you'd like?
Fewer options is fine. If you have a choice between three people, let's say for a chiropractor, just put the 3 names in. Mm-hmm.
So Shakti, I had a question come in behind the scenes here about what to do if you're getting mixed messages. So if you are doing it in one way and it's saying this answer, and then you ask again and it gives you a different answer, what could be going on in that situation?
I would re-clear myself. I always go with the first answer.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes just to make a chart for yourselves for something. You know, these basic charts are for simple questions, nothing heavy, no big um, life decision things. These are just for simple decisions. I did one class on shopping. You just put down the names of the stores, which one has my item, and it did work. I've seen charts with 3 petals and some with many. It doesn't matter. They're just, you can fill in whatever you need. Because you may have come up with something that only has 3 options for you, right? So this is just for very basic. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next chart D. This is percentage. So I'm taking it up a little notch more when making decisions. Okay. How this chart works, the pendulum will swing towards a positive and negative percentage on the chart. Positive percentage is the likelihood that this option is good for you. A negative percentage is the likelihood that this option isn't good for you. It's for your highest good. For the results outside of the safe zone, it's recommended to avoid this option, or you can contact Shakti to research details about something. So we start again while swinging the pendulum counterclockwise. Stay in your mind and let go of any mind activity that's blocking access to intuitive information. We always do this. We always want to reconnect. It's just like you're doing any mindful work. How many times a day can you reconnect to spirit? Do you need to meditate for 5 minutes a couple times a day? Whatever it is, saying affirmation, whatever that is that you need to do to connect, right? Pendulum dowsing is another way to connect. So I fill out the table below. What this is you write down the options for a small decision you'd like to make. Okay, this is one step up from a vitamin decision or mineral decision. You can also put in, a doctor or a chiropractor. You can put that in there. Okay, so you write down the small decision you'd like to make. Then I want you to douse what is the positive percentage of this option and what is the negative percentage. So you put your pendulum in the middle. Let's say, for an example, you're looking for a chiropractor. You've got chiropractor A. What's the positive percentage of that option? Put your pendulum in the middle and just see where it goes. Let's say it says 80% positive. What's the negative? Negative is 0. Okay, that's a good choice. Okay, let's say you have chiropractor B. I put the pendulum in the middle. What's the positive? Oh, went to 50. Positive 50. Okay, what's the negative? 55. It's not the right one. Right? Remember, whenever we're asking this, we're asking for the highest good for you. Could be right for somebody else. This is just for you. Okay, 50, 55. So that's an example of what it would look like. If you have anything that's 0 to 20, then you're fine for the negative. Safe zone for positive, you do want something that's 90 to 100%. Go for that one. Whether you're talking about a remedy, a chiropractor, a doctor, a healer to go to, it doesn't matter. And if you work with, you need employees, you can do it for that too. Okay, highest benefit. So there's one time, like for example, for me, I was looking for a chiropractor, and this person came highly recommended. So for me, I said, "What's the positive?" It just went to 60. Oh no, it was higher than that. It went to a 75, but when I did the negative went to 90. Now I'm like, okay, well, how are you going to analyze that one? Positive 75, negative higher. Positive was high, negative was high. It's like, he must be good, but there's some negative going on, right? For me. So I decided not to do it. Okay, I did not choose him. So I just asked around, hey, my curiosity, of course, because I'm involved with a detailed system. So my curiosity is up. Anybody know anything going on with this guy? Uh, yeah, he's in the middle of moving. There you go. I don't want him working on me when he's in that transition chaos phase. Isn't that interesting? So I have a choice. I can pick someone else or I can just wait. Interesting, huh? So that's how I would use this question. I don't know what that one means. That chat.
Just Lisa was saying that she was asking if she should go shopping with her husband today, and the pendulum started at 30% and then went 30, 50, 60, 70. So she was joking that it was headed in that direction, that she was going shopping.
Oh, okay.
Did you have a question about that, Lisa, about how that goes?
I'm not sure if I had a question, but I think it was, as Shakti was talking, it was just providing me clarity, I guess, right?
Yes.
So it's swaying me to go shopping with him. So I guess spirit wants me to go shopping.
What's the positive benefit of you going shopping with whomever it is? I get a 90. What's the negative? I get a negative 90. So there's some hesitancy.
I'm an introvert. I don't like going shopping.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, so this is again another level. I'm just upping every level that that we do. Okay. Any questions? See, I find this one, the percentage, I find this incredibly helpful. Like I said, I won't ask just a yes or no question about something, but if I get a percentage, positive, negative, it is fantastic. Absolutely use this piece, this tip, if you want to douse for something. Because a yes or no does not give me enough information. That's why I never use a yes or no for a decision. I want more information. It's fantastic. Because and I'll tell more about the system, if there is a negative about something, you will have, in the deep dive class, you have the ability to find out, what's the negative, right? Right now, you just know it's a negative and you're not going to choose it.
All right, looks like we have a question from Brittany. Brittany, if you could unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you. I have a question about asking, I guess I'm not quite understanding. You asked for the positive and the negative, but on the chart it says safe zone for negatives over here, safe zone. I'm still not, can you explain that again?
Yes, the safe zone. We want, when you're dowsing for the positive, we want it to be 90 to 100. Okay? That's the goal. If you get 20 and below for a negative, it's fine. You can go for it if it's 20 below. There's not much of a negative, so go for it. If you get a negative above 20%, I wouldn't do it. Does that make sense?
I saw the dawning of realization, so I think that we got that.
Okay. All right. It's hard for me to see it, but okay, good.
All right. Anyone else have any questions while we're paused right here? Thank you for that, Brittany. Okay, I think we're good, Shakti.
Okay. Great. Okay. So that's your workbook. I would use it for, simple things. Simple questions can really help. I want to talk a little bit about the next level of dowsing, which I've been teaching for 31 years. It's called spiritual response technique or therapy. You may see it online. There was a time in my life where I was looking for a shift about who I was and my purpose in my life. And at that point, I knew that I wanted to help people on a spiritual level, did not want to go back to counseling. My children were little. And I just knew that there was something. I just love shooting from the hip. I just love, like, what is it? I want to know what it is that is blocking me right now. So I always had this thing about, I want to really know what it is fast, right? I don't want to go to a talk therapy. Remember, this is 1990. Okay. And I also knew that I was involved with meditation for many years, that I wanted to help people on a spiritual level. Remember, I'm just putting out in the universe what I'm looking for. So if any of you are in that space, I'm just sharing what I did. Okay. I knew I wanted to help people on a spiritual level. I knew that I wanted to break my mindset patterns that I had running in my life so that my children don't carry them. I wanted to break the pattern. I wanted to be the one that broke the pattern. There was so much happening in my childhood. I'm like, I'm here to break the pattern. Is there something in the universe that I can learn to help me break the pattern? That's all I put out there. It was vague, okay, but I had that intention. And at that time, we were involved with Unity Churches, which is very positive movement. They use a lot of affirmations. And I also realized that when people were using affirmations, their lives weren't changing enough. And I'm like, what is that? What is it? Why aren't these affirmations changing? And at that time, my husband had said, we have a friend who is a Unity minister, and he's not doing the Unity ministry anymore. And he is now doing something else. I go, what's he doing? He goes, well, he's using a pendulum. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You know, I thought the guy was like totally crazy. So I'm like, fine, whatever, show me, you know, the video on it. Okay, the first thing that he said, and this is Robert Detzler, he's the one who created the system. The first thing he said in that video was, the reason affirmations don't work because there's a block in the subconscious. This is a pendulum dowsing method to tap into the subconscious to find out exactly what the root cause is, clear it out. Then there is space to put in the affirmation. I'm like, oh, it made so much sense to me. I called him up. I'm living in Oregon. He's in Washington State. Robert, what are you doing? What is this? He goes, I'll beat your house in 2 weeks. We'll play. So he starts showing me the system, and I'm just immediately blown away. Nailed every issue I thought I took care of, being in years of meditation. He nailed every one that was there, and my energy was just freed up. I'm like, I don't really know what we just did, but I need to keep learning this to help break these patterns so that my children are free. So create a class, learned it. I worked on myself for a year straight before I worked on anybody else. And then I said to Robert, hey, you know, can I teach people this? This has helped me so much. I was in a 7-year depression, couldn't shake it. Within just 2 months of using SRT, it went away. So when I would use SRT to find out what was going on with me, only for 2 months, 2 to 3 months, it would go back to that issue and then never goes back there again, ever. I'm like, that's incredible. And he said, well, Shakti, there's no teachers, there's no books, there's nothing yet. He said, but let me ask Spirit what I can do. Okay. So he said, it comes back and he says, okay, Spirit says you could teach. So I just created my own how to teach it. So I've been teaching ever since. Now there are books, now there's manuals, teaching programs, teaching certifications, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but that's my quick story about it. When we're using SRT, we are using 3 parts of the subconscious of our mind. We have our conscious mind, that everything we see here now. Okay. We have our subconscious that records everything. All of our thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, and judgments are stored in the subconscious from our experience. There's also another part of the mind called the superconscious mind, right? All of us are in line with, we want to be in line with it even more when we're doing our healing work, when we're doing our intuition. So when I was saying why aren't people's affirmations working is because they were using their conscious mind. The block was in the subconscious. I'm like, wow, I can nail that for people. I can nail it if it's in the present life, when they picked it up, who they picked it up from, why, what the energy is. If it's a past life, I can research a past life, bring that forward. What energy is that? Break the cycles. I'm like, I'm in, right? It just fit everything that I was looking for. And for me to continue to do something for 31 years, I'm still amazed by it. Every time, every person I talk to, the situation is so different. And it's just amazing. I'm blown away every time. So I don't get bored with it. And I love teaching it. So that's why I wanted to share with you what it's about today. And if you're interested, then I can offer you the opportunity to learn the system. So the system is based on the pendulum dowsing, okay? And we'll be clearing whatever energy is in the subconscious that is causing the repetition of the mindset pattern, so that you can live your life from the subconscious, from the super conscious level, whatever you call that, increasing your intuition, higher self, God, universal energy, whatever that is for you. I love breaking patterns with people. Do you remember it, maybe in a lot of your teachings you've read about awareness as the first step? Oh, I do that? Well, SRT will nail it. Like, will bring you that awareness right away, and then you can work with it. Most of the stuff that was going on with me, I was just running. I wasn't even aware of that I was doing it. I just knew that I wasn't feeling too happy. That was my clue. Something's stuck and I don't know what it is. So the thing that Robert nailed me on, that I'll share with you, we were sitting at a session and he just said, there's this dark energy around you and we have to figure out what that is. And so I said, yeah, I don't know what it is. And he said, it's your mother. Okay. My mother died when I was 14, 15 years old. And that's when I went into my depression about what do I do with that energy? You know, I'm just a kid. So I said, well, I thought here my ego mind says, I've already dealt with that, right? I've done my yelling, screaming, and therapy that I thought would work, but it's still there, right? Heaviness, like. So he says, okay, well, let's just let it go. Okay, so we just did a clear, like I just taught you how to do. Let's clear that energy. It was gone. Like that. I'm like, wow, that was magical. I can't even tell you how big that was because I thought I did the work. So I got nailed. I'd say within the first 10 minutes of a session with him. That's why I'm hooked, because I know the power of that one. Okay. It's really important in the system, in this spiritual response system, is to identify the root cause, because that's how we're able to break the pattern. Somebody asked me, well, if we do this, are we bypassing our soul growth? I'm like, no. Everybody comes with their lessons, right? And when you're ready for a lesson to be complete, then it shows up, right? So here we have the opportunity to have the awareness to complete a soul growth pattern. So then you're free of that particular issue. There are some issues. Remember, we've spent many years creating our patterns and could have brought them from past lives. So sometimes an issue will just leave immediately. Sometimes, just like any healing work that you've done, sometimes it takes time. You may need a couple sessions on it, right? But I was so determined that I'm going to do the best that I can to let go of that mother issue, that I just worked it constantly on that one issue. And then within a few months, it just never went back there again. And that was very impressive. So with SRT, I really know where my subconscious is. I know what's going on there. I'm very aware of it. So I can't avoid it. I'm reading could you put that one up again?
That was actually a private message with someone. Just so you all know, if you do go on the link for what she's doing for the AZ discount, we don't want to put too many links out there because it gets really confusing. However, if you want to explore Shakti's website, she has an awesome website with lots of things. The menu is on the top, so you can explore a little bit more about the SRT.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. On the website, themindsetcompany.com, top bar says training. There's individual and professional. So if individual is talking about if you want to use this for your own purpose, okay, for your life, for your friends, your family, for you, okay, it just shows you the advantages of doing that. Like I was saying, it makes a difference for my family. Any shift that you make will shift your family 7 generations down, 7 back. So that's the individual. The other link is the professional. It just has different advantages to taking the SRT course. Where as a professional, you can add this to your toolbox. It doesn't matter what type of healing you do. This can add to it. In other words, you will know exactly what's going on with the person. You can clear them and then also do your modality that you do. I have a lot of practitioners in my classes who are so excited to have this, whether they're doing their own past life regression. Some people will clear past life regression. Some people just identify. So this adds for them. They can clear the energy from the past life. Some people who are doing, hypnotherapy, they would, for this particular man, it would take him, a full session to kind of reveal what's going on. Here, he could quickly identify it and add into his expertise. So you can check out those 2 links. It has more explanation about the class. So, and so I wanted to offer an opportunity if anyone would like to experience what the SRT process is. It is hold on, and we'll do some hot seats. It's an intensive class. It's based in 2 types of classes, a basic and advanced. First class is actually 27 hours. The advanced class is 24. The first class, you're given a book. Each class comes with a book. The first class has 1 through 10 charts. The second class, 1 through 32, and it has more advanced techniques in the system. So you can read through the website for any other details, but it is very transformative, no matter why you want to use it, for yourself, family, or friends, or if you want to add it to your toolbox in your profession. So would anyone like to have an example for them of how to identify some issue they have that I can help you with? I will quickly identify what that issue is.
All right. We did have a few people at the beginning who put their names in. Again, if you want to be considered for a possibility of an example here, put over in the chat and I'll add you to the list. So the first person is going to be Lisa. Look at those wide eyes. I love it.
No, not me first. Go into somebody else.
Oh, you want to go? Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me pull a number. Hold on. Takes a minute to actually do that.
Sorry.
That's okay. Ms. Butterfly, you ready?
Yes, good afternoon. I would like to find out whether or not the blood type diet is the best for me. Eating according to my blood type, because I've been struggling trying to make a decision as to what to do. My body is changing and I'm noticing different things.
Okay. So I gave you the positive and negatives, right, chart for you to use. Okay?
Yes.
So, but if I have a client, they ask me a question about a decision,
Mm-hmm.
I won't make the decision for them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can do that. You can do that positive and negative for yourself. What I do on my end is I will find out what in the system called programs, what program you have that is blocking your decision.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, because I see myself like as an educator in that way.
Okay.
that I can offer you this information for your soul growth. Okay, so does that work for you?
It does.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to put this on the screen. I don't know if you can see it at all, but this is like the first chart of the SRT process. Can you see that at all?
Yes.
I just basically want you to see that
Okay.
it's filled with a lot of 32 charts.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm going to clear my energy just like I taught you, because I want to be that neutral, clear channel. I don't want my ego or anything that I know about nutrition to influence the answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, right?
Thank you.
Because we all learn so much from different avenues. Okay. All right. So my question is, what blocks does she have? What programs does she have in making this decision for her health? So it's guiding me to another chart
Okay.
called positive expressions. And it talks about blocks to joy. So there's another chart, and this is what I teach people to do. So there's the main program, blocks to joy. Now I want to find out, when did she first accept that block to joy? Remember, if I get anything personal, you don't have to share anything. Okay, this is public, right?
Okay.
So I'm just going to identify things, and you don't need to, it's up to you if you want to share.
Thank you.
Okay, the other energy behind the blocks of joy is self-punishment, taking things on like too much responsibility, and it comes up from age 5, has to do with your father. So there may have been a lot going on in family. I don't know. You could just say, does that make any sense to you, or doesn't make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay, all right. So she just validated what I did. I've never met her before. Okay. So she has an awareness. Oh, I need to work on that issue, right? Because it's become a life pattern. And now she's trying to decide what's best for her health. Okay. So clearing this issue, particular issue, would help her, give her guidance to know, I know what I need to do. Okay, because the self-punishment person takes on too much of everyone else's energy, more than them knowing what they want to do, what's right for them. Does this make sense?
Very.
Okay, all right. So I'm clearing the energy away, so she has this confidence that's going to go, I know exactly what I need to do for my diet. I know exactly what I need to do for this other situation. Okay, so that's the brief insight. So this is what I do. I do the same thing that I taught you on that first chart, was to clear counterclockwise. I'm going to ask spirit, I call spirit, and it goes counterclockwise. I'm going to ask spirit to clear that energy, that pattern that she's holding on to so tight, that she's so responsible for everybody else's energies. And when she tries to figure out her own, she can't, even because she's handling everybody else's. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to help you with this. So pendulum swing counterclockwise. And then for me, it's done. It goes back to yes or no. Yes, goes back to yes. Okay. So now she has a space. We opened it up a little bit. We lightened that hold that she had on that energy. So I have another chart. Okay. So this is a chart with positive energy. What energy would spirit want to replace this with for her soul growth? Not me, not Shakti. I could put in all these other things, but I want to know what is right for her. What does spirit want to come through me to share with her? Okay. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so there's two things that showed up on this chart. One is listening, about listening. Start listening to your guidance. You get a little hint of something, go for it so that you can increase the power of your intuition. Okay.
Okay.
The other thing is about love, and it just says about being open to allow love in. That means love and abundance from the universe to support you. You don't have to handle everything yourself. Make sense? Any comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pendulum and I'm going to have it go clockwise. That means that we're asking the universe to put in these two energies for
Okay.
her. We're replacing the blocks of joy. Okay. That's out of the subconscious. We're replacing it with her listening to herself. That she's awesome and amazing, has got the confidence to make all the decisions she needs to, badass woman, okay?
Yeah.
And bring that so that she can allow joy and love into her life, support, okay?
Yes.
All right, so then I just use my pendulum and I ask Spirit to do that. It's going clockwise. And then it went back to yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, in brief, that's how right on it is, and that's how fast it is. So, you can do this for yourself. It's like your own therapist, right? And, or you can do it for other people and adding into your, profession. Here's a funny example of a past life that had shown up for me. It's a fun story. This was many years ago. I had gone on vacation with several women. There were about 6 of us, and one lady, she would when she would talk to me, she would stand like right in my face. I don't know if you've ever met anybody like that, but I'm like, what are you doing? I gotta spend the whole weekend with this lady and she's talking to me like this. So at that moment, they did not know that I did this work. But I said, hey, I'll be right back. So I went upstairs, did a clearing. Sure enough, there was a past life. If past lives in your philosophy, there was a past life where she killed me in a past life. We were kind of equal leaders, and then she did, have that control over me. So here she is doing it the same. Okay, and here I am bringing my energy, and she's bringing her energy, right? So I just asked Spirit to clear that past that we brought together, right? We're always brought together with people to heal. So I cleared the energy. I always test the system just to see. And so I came down, like, okay, let's just see. Does SRT really work? I'm always doing that. So I come down and she's just sitting on the other side of the room. I mean, she never did it again. Something like that. Just bringing two people together so that we can honor each other this lifetime. And ever since then, it was equal leadership, equal respect and integrity from then on. And then I knew she would kind of be open to past lives, so I shared it with her, and we just started laughing about it. She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry," we were just laughing about it. But that's just an example of how it worked. I had one lady who wanted a session and she said, I'm almost 60 and I've never had a friend. I'm like, what? So I said, well, let's do a clearing about it. So remember, I never met her, and it showed up early age, maybe age 1, had to do with her mother. And I said, does this make any sense? She goes, yes, absolutely. My mother did not want me in her life. And so if I'm not valid to her, I'm not valid to anyone else. So I said, well, let's just do a clearing together. Just okay. She was like an amazing horse trainer. That was her profession. So I said, you got to call me. Let me know results. I need results. So she called me the next week and she said, "You're not going to believe this one." She said, "I went to a luncheon at a senior center, and this lady sat across from me, and she told me she enjoyed being with me and would like to have lunch with me again." That's just the best. Sometimes the simplest shifts can make a huge difference.
Yeah, Shakti, could I share my experience with the group that I had with
Sure.
you? So when I first met Shakti, she did a session with me to show me how it works, because it is a little unique and different than what a lot of people do. And one of the things that she was able to clear in my past was, from way, way back in my ancestry, there was a commitment to fail on my dad's side. And so the clearing that happened with that was clearing all the way down through that to me. And my dad and I worked together in our Muggle job. And it is insane after that clearing how our business went boom, like it was just one after another, new clients and new things happening and all of that. And even within my dad's world, he was in shock. And so I got to explain to him how it worked with me and how that helped him as well. And it's been a really amazing thing to watch. So this whole system, I've seen it personally, how it can work. So I love it.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so we're ready for another person, another question.
Yeah. All right. So next we have Maria. Maria, you here?
Hi, yeah, sorry, my camera doesn't work very well.
That's okay.
So I would like to ask, because recently I've started to practice Buddhism, and I've actually joined a Buddhist group. And so I'd like to ask if this was the right decision.
Okay, so I will do the same for you, is find out what programs you're running that's blocking your decision. Okay, it's so helpful to do this when people are asking about a decision to make, because there's a block in there about making the decision. Okay, so let's see. So all I'm doing is going through these charts. It's just like I'm in tune with it. I'm just going with the flow, whatever chart it needs to go to. And on each chart, there's just different words. That's all it is. Well, this is perfect. Okay, hold on. So if you remember, or you've read about Akashic records at all, we are tapping into Akashic record. That's what we're doing. We are tapping into that place where we are storing all of our limited soul programs. And we're opening the box saying, oh, this is what's in there. And we're going to take it out and clear it. So if anybody asks you about that, that is the level that we're going to. Okay, so Maria, we do have a past life to clear. Are past lives in your philosophy?
Yes.
Okay. Because the main energy is blocks to love of God, and it comes from a past life. Okay. So just give me a moment. I'm going to do a little past life research for her. She's a female. She's the only one. There's no other character in that scenario. Hold on just a moment. In that scenario, you were like a mother superior, so you were a head, a very high level in that religious group in a past life. So I'm going to ask if there was harm done. I got yes. Emotional. Why were you harmed? You were harmed for channeling. So it's emotional harm. So I just want to know, what energies do you bring from that scenario. Okay. There's a rejection of who you are. Okay, Maria, do you use a pendulum at all?
This was my first time.
Oh, good. Okay, so did the pendulum move yes and no for you?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to ask this question.
Mhm.
Was I a Buddhist in that past life? You get a yes or no.
Yeah, it says yes.
Yes. Okay. So this scenario is saying that you were of high order, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that the group was, you were emotionally held back for doing your work, okay? So you felt some kind of rejection. They could not honor your level of understanding. So here you are wanting to join that group again, and you're going, I don't know if I should join that group. The subconscious remembers something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's ask Spirit to clear that memory, right?
Yes.
And then so that when you make this decision, you'll be neutral. Okay. Does that feel okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm doing asking Spirit to clear the energies, going counterclockwise. Okay, there's a space open. Let's ask what to replace this with. And there's a joy. Okay, so you'll be able to, so I'm sorry, I'm going to ask Spirit to put that back in. Okay, so there's the joy. So now she's not going to have that weird energy there. She's going to get clearer guidance if she should move in with that, towards moving in towards that teaching or not. It's going to be more neutral. Interesting, huh?
Yes.
Yes. So it's about honor your ability to channel, honor your intuition, and go from there, and not worry about what other people think about it, or wondering if they're better than you, or they feel, if you feel threatened at all by their intuition.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. That was very sweet. Very sweet.
All right.
So a little bit about the class. It is online, and it is a time that we spend together that really is about honoring who you are and allowing that to come through. So we spend a lot of time together. Everything is confidential. Everything is so supportive because everyone comes with their soul growth. Everything is so different. But it's an extremely supportive environment to go through things quickly, painlessly, and to learn a system so that you can stay on it. I'm trying to read those.
There was just a lot of back and forth about cellular things getting tied in with your parents and things getting passed down through generations and how that can get tied into your DNA.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So
let me put that in a nutshell for you.
Yes, I got it. I got it. I know who those people are. I know.
All right. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to one more person? Anything that's coming up? All right. You
Okay,
ready,
so
Shakti?
hold on just a moment. Just a
Okay.
little bit more about the class.
Yeah.
If you're interested in this system, there is a link that we're going to put up there about joining in the class. The class does start next weekend. It is September 10th, 11th, 17, and 18. It's 9 to 4 each day, and the last day is 9 to 3. So it is an intensive time together. And if you want to sign up for that, just giving the AZ discount is $50 off. So original price is $625. So it's $575. And is there a link in the chat for that?
There
Okay.
is.
Okay, so that link is there. So you have 24 hours to decide on that. And you can also email me any questions that you have. I'd be happy to answer anything about the class. There is a completion that you get, a certificate of completion for the basic class. You get a certificate of completion for the advanced class. If you're interested in any certification, that happens later with other classes by the association.
Right. Well, thank you so much for offering that discount for our Awkwardly Zen members. It means a lot when we have practitioners come in and do that because it's a nice thing to offer. So we appreciate it.
Yes.
All right. Okay. You want to do one more, Shakti?
Yes, let's go one more.
Okay. Lisa, are you ready or do you want me to send somebody else?
You can ask somebody else, but thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Elizabeth, are you there?
Yes. Oh, sorry. My bandwidth is crazy low, so I have to keep my video off.
That's okay.
I'm not sure. I have a question. I'm not sure how to phrase it, but I'm curious about any blockages I may have. I hadn't really considered that. My general, like, I guess I'm saying chakra. Any energetic blockages I have, is the pendulum able to point me in the right direction of where to begin if it senses any, or is that not appropriate for the pendulum?
Are you talking about a block in the chakras? Is that what you asked?
That's the closest I can think of, because the only energy I can think of is the chakra energy. So I don't know what else it would be, but I mean, I'm open to the interpretation of the pendulum as well.
Okay, so you're asking me just a general question of a block that you may have. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, it's just general. Yes. It's not in reference to anything particular. It's not in reference to a health.
No, because I don't even. No, because I don't know if I have a blockage, but now I'm totally like, wait, maybe I'm just not seeing something within me. So I would love it if the pendulum would explore that.
Okay, great. Okay, good question. Cool. I wanted to clarify that with you because sometimes, and even when all of you that do healing work, some people will have a specific, and even with SRT, you just say, I have a specific question, like some of the other people did. I want to know this. And other people will say to me, just do a general clearing for me, right? And other people will have a specific. So thank you for asking in that way, because that's what I get from people. They just say, you tell me. You tell me what's up. Okay. Okay, yours has to do with clearing a memory that keeps reoccurring in the subconscious about justice. Justice means wanting respect. Maybe you didn't get it. I don't know, but it's an issue for you that you want, that's important. So let's see when that, the root cause of that. Okay, there is a past life there. Now, when I go to past life, there could be a justice issue in this lifetime, but I'm going back to root cause. I want to break the pattern, right? Elizabeth, you with me? Okay. Okay, so you're the only one in this past life. Also, there's no other cast of characters, just you, and you have mother energy. So let me see what that means. You're a mother of a family. There was physical harm. Okay. It feels like there was like an invasion because there was you're just a mother of a family and there was justice so that you were killed. It's like in a wartime or an invasion. So justice is just important for you. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, I've never looked at past lives, so I think it's fascinating, and I'll definitely think further on what you're saying.
Okay, but is that an interest of yours?
Like history and war.
No.
That...
The interest is standing up for people's rights or groups or a position. It's justice. It means respect.
I think so. I see this as in my groups, I want everyone to have a fair a fair amount of time expressing themselves. So that is incredibly important to me. And I don't cut people off or short. So we run over. But that is where I could see it really coming through.
Yes.
The justice aspects.
Yes. Perfect. So all we're going to do is we're going to ask Spirit to clear. Same thing I taught you, going counterclockwise, clearing the energy because she was harmed for standing up for herself. So she knows the value of listening and hearing and honoring people. See, that's why she's doing that, because she's had that experience. So now what we're doing is we're clearing the wound behind that. So when she does that, it's going to even be more powerful. Perfect. Okay. So there's an opening there. Let's ask to what we can replace that with. And it's just more kindness to yourself, more justice for yourself, your own energy. Bring that to your groups. Okay. As you honor that for yourself, you can bring that more to your groups. Got it? All right. Awesome. Great. So I'm glad that was resonating with everyone. That's the purpose of it. So does anyone have any other questions about the classes?
That's good. All right. So Shakti, could you just say the name of your website one more time for those people who are watching this on the replay?
It's www.themindsetcompany.com.
Mindsetcompany.com. And you guys can find Shakti there. And if you've missed out on the classes and you're watching this a year from now, make sure you reach out to Shakti and find out what she's got going on. You can check out her website there. Shakti, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your amazing gift.